For hundreds of thousands of years, almost all societies have created their own ways to achieve altered states of consciousness. Whether that be to divine guidance for the individual or community, to heal the sick or to commune with the ancestors, the ways are many and varied. But, with the exception of contemporary, mainstream North American culture, most others have long embraced practices via rituals, healing work, or even as part of ordinary life. Inside the temples during the 9 Emperor Gods festival, you can sometimes hear drums, definitely firecrackers, laughter, and also sometimes monkey-like screeches, high-pitched squeals, and even comical, cartoonish voices. These are the sounds of the spirits entering the consciousness of a select few who call themselves Masong, or Trance Mediums. These Trance Mediums have strictly prepared themselves physically and spiritually to be hosts to these venerated energies. Surprisingly, there is a certain type of peace to the proceedings, despite the evidence of sometimes heavy body piercings, blood, and all that goes with this particular ritual. But what happens here is more than just what unschooled onlookers might see as somewhat shocking mutilation, or the high-energy moments of streets totally ablaze with firecrackers, with you being barely able to see 2 feet in front of you or even breathe, or the feats of walking across coals or climbing on blade ladders. But for these Masong, this week is where these powerful spirits utilize their bodies to give blessing, to bring healing, and also, which is interesting for me, to balance out the density of sin as it exists energetically in the collective. In their words, it's to heal the karma. My friend Khan told me a story about when she was little and she snuck in and saw a very prominent Masong undergo an extremely rare act of ritualized mutilation.
One guy, I remember that very well, and when I was little, and they said in town that, oh, this time Tui will cut the tongue. This year we'll cut the tongue. And it's like, yeah, it's like, wow, cut the tongue. How come you cut the tongue?
Yeah, right.
Yes, and it's just like
It's so extreme, no?
It's very extreme.
Yeah.
They block people not coming.
Okay.
But I sneak in. And the sword, very sharp one, the sword. And they put something like no alcohol at that time. They put something like holy oil.
Okay.
Put on there. Yes, and it's like that, and they cut. Off. Not just no.
And
it's
then
just
what?
Off.
Now he has no tongue?
No. What? Come on. It's just like when it off and it's just like that, and they use the sword, put in the tongue, and this he opened the mouth like that. The tongue is just like in half, and they give him this who. This who, no? This kind of who? This kind of the young put in lab.
This paper, I mean this
kind of thing. No, not paper. That this kind. Yeah, they put
like
this
on his tongue.
On his tongue. They put this. They this like a lab, and then how's that?
Okay.
And this.
And blood everywhere.
Believe it or not, no blood. Believe it or not, there's no blood at that time. I am so, and this guy just like open, cut, and then they wrap, and then they cut, and they like this, and then. But I see him like no black,
people, yeah.
No black eyes. It's just like full times.
So his eyes are white.
Yeah.
Like a back.
Yeah, like black, like that. And then put this, and then he can walk. He walked.
No shock or anything.
No shock or anything.
And then what happened after to his tongue?
This is the thing that I cannot sneaking in. He put him after 2 hours walk and blessing.
Okay.
Everything. In the trance.
Okay.
In the trance, walk 2 hours and then back to the temple.
Wow.
He put them, but the tongue carry with him, no? carry with him all the time. The follower carry with him and have to do like they sprinkle the oil
Okay.
onto tongue. Nah?
So it doesn't.
No, so it
Die.
doesn't die.
Right.
Yeah, it's just like that. At that time, it's like that, you know, and like this, and then when it's come, they have to take him to the secret room
Okay.
in the yellow. That room, no one can enter. No one can enter. It's just him and the medium who perform, who trans Thị Hung Nguồn Suối, which is the doctor.
Ah, okay.
The doctor.
So it's like spiritual surgery.
The spiritual surgery. Thank you. Yes, Thị Hung Nguồn Suối. And then it's just like 2 or 3 people just go in there, and the tongue is completely.
Yeah, right.
And then he comes. It's just like the tongue is like nothing. But
This is a very rare case.
It
yeah?
is very rare
Like, this
case.
is never-
No, you will see that people can push
Yeah.
the tongue, but no one cut.
Cut off, like.
Cut
like,
off.
Like off. Like,
Yes.
Go on, see you later.
But after that, no one do that.
Okay.
That year is very specific year because for the astrology, the calendar.
Yeah.
They say that this year is something big is going to happen to the island.
Oh.
So-
When was that? What year was that?
Oh, when I was really young,
Okay.
I can't remember. That's why they cut this because
You
to
need-
cut the scene.
So it needed to
cut-
be something dramatic?
Yes. That why. So that one is so famous, no? But I think the guy is old, getting old and die already. So. Yeah.
Sweet, yeah? Or not so sweet? That looks like a cup of sugar.
It's sugar. This is a cup of sugar.
Yeah.
Cheers. ขอบคุณค่ะ
It reminds me of being a kid, this kind of food.
You are Indonesian, no?
Malay, yeah.
Yeah.
Chewy.
Yeah, those wrong. And then, yeah. น้องถือไว้ค่ะต้องถือไว้ค่ะ
Special way. Grandma special.
Yeah.
Like I'll never be able to go to the bathroom.
So you cannot go to the bathroom right now, at least for 2 hours.
'How much?
เชิญครับเชิญ
Whatever that we
Whatever you
comfortable.
want.
แต่
The welcoming drum is just like the big drum. They're welcoming. They are invite all God. Come
ลอง
the
ชิมดู
spirit
ก่อนได้
come.
นะคะอยากได้รสชาติไหน อยากทานรสชาติไหน อยากลองรสชาติไหนค่ะ วันนี้แวะมาชิมได้เลยค่ะ
This is the bridge.
Okay, so do we have to think about something in particular?
Okay. Just one rule. Do not look backward when we're crossing the bridge.
So, okay, wait, so we're going to take these.
This and they will tell you when to throw to the basket. Okay. Throw is mean that throw away your sin.
So we're
Throw away
thinking about that.
Yeah. The bad luck, the negative things. Throw it to the basket. The mediums will standing along the bridge to bless you, to give you to sprinkle the holy water on you. And at that time, the only thing that you think is just like, please take away all sin, all negative energy of karma from the past. Just throw it away. Bring me the new fortune, the luck, and just refreshing, just flush, just like the toilet.
We all need that.
Yeah. Go on that bridge, and then we go to that temple.
ฟังนะฟังนะ
One,
Yeah, the whip.
the whip.
Yeah.
ขึ้นสะพาน
We call huat so.
ทีละสองคนนะ
Huat so.
ถามว่าทำไมขึ้นสีขึ้นหน้าไม่ได้
The head is going to be like the dragon
แค่สองคน
or any kind of reptile,
ใครไม่ได้ไก่อีกก็ต้องไม่ได้กล้วย
frog, turtle,
นะ
snake,
Okay.
any kind of reptile.
Uh,
We don't wear any black
Yeah.
around
อ่ะ
Yes.
มีเพิ่มเป็นสีนะ
because
เจ้าหน้าที่มา
this is something like purify karma, right?
Yeah.
If you wear black or anything like dark color or you have period,
yeah.
the negative energy of the bad karma will come only you. Will come to you.
Oh no.
It's just like no, they're tourist.
Okay. It's a mass blessing.
Yeah.
เกือบไม่ต้องรอดนะวันทุก
He said that don't take the doll from others because it means that we take their sin.
Uh, it's like your pass. It's like a visa.
No, it's the name of the god.
Okay.
That is mean that this person is purified
Yeah, it's like
from the
stamp.
god.
Yeah.
It's just like you pass like a
ที่ว่าทุก
passport.
คนตั้งใจจะมา
Stamp.
I've been there.
ทุกคนต้องระวังด้วยนะกระเป๋าระวังด้วยนะครับ กระเป๋าระวังด้วยนะ บางคนผมมองไปแล้วเนี่ย ใส่ทอง7 เส้น8 เส้น
Female
Nah.
that allow on the
แล้วคุณมาเบียดกันไปแย่งกันมา
easy.
Use me as an excuse.
I can't remember what is the feeling because I didn't come and hanging around temple so much.
And the flag.
The flag. Yes, pure. Pure.
คุณทำอย่างไรก็ได้ให้เหลือ2และจะสบายนะคุณทำอย่างไรก็ได้ให้เหลือ2แถม
This flag is all about Taoism way. It yin, yang, day, night, and all kind of mantra.
Whew. I just got back from the crossing of the bridge ceremony, and wow, I'm equal parts exhausted as I am peaceful. There's a certain kind of peace to this whole shenanigans. I couldn't film it because, you know, when you're in an actual ritual, it's a little bit weird to have your camera out. But the actual walking across the bridge part, there was like 2 rows of women all in trance, all wearing these beautiful silk robes. There's these flags waving in the wind in the sky above our heads. There's flowers scattered all over the ground, and a smell of sort of like a frankincense-y, no, it was more like sandalwood. It's a woody sort of sandalwood smell, and the sounds of the drums and the bells. And because they're in trance, they are embodying a particular character for a little while or a long while. And so as you're going through, they give you this stamp, and they also hand you like things like candies and strings and bracelets and sometimes like seeds and jelly. Blessed jelly, who would have thought? And it's sort of supposed to carry the energy of the blessing and to kind of give you good luck going forward. It was really quite a nice, colourful way of receiving blessings. And so as I'm walking through, I'm feeling like a lot of emotion because it's so kind. Yeah, it seems a little weird. You know, a lot of them have their eyes closed and they're speaking in a very kind of comical way. And other times you just feel like enclosed by a lot of love, you know, as it is when people gather together and they're focused on something specific, right? Like to release, to become new, to start again, to refresh. And we walked into the side and into the area where all the women were kind of preparing their bodies to receive the spirit. And it was kind of strange a couple times, but mostly it felt almost like at home. I've always felt very connected to the sense of channeling and of connecting to a higher spirit or a higher vibrational bandwidth, if you will, of energies. And so when I was watching it come through their bodies, they would become these different people. Sometimes their face would change, sometimes the way they spoke changed, and they'd be so eager to get out and amongst the people to give this transmission. So yeah, I didn't feel like I was judged because I was a foreigner. Yeah, we're allowed to experience these things just because they're not in our culture. It doesn't matter, you know. It's okay as long as you approach it with a sense of reverence and respect for the custom of what's going on. You know, you're not just kind of doing it as a sightseer, which is fine as well. But there wasn't any judgment. It was a full welcome, and there was a lot of joy in there. When the women or the people would embody these spirits, the others that would come to them would approach them very gleefully and joyfully, you know. I would love to know their stories. I'm sure some really amazing things happened. But during the day, I had this moment with one of the male Masong, and he was getting these massive swords pulled out of his face, like there was many in there. And there was this moment where he really made eye contact with me, and when he did that, apart from the visual of it being quite intense, you know, there was like blood and a big hole in his face and everything, there was this rush of energy that went through my body. And it wasn't very long that he was holding my eye gaze, my attention, but I really, really felt this moment of something rush through my body. It was like almost he wanted to make sure, even in that trance state, that I knew that he knew, you know, this thing. And I carried that after I left that afternoon. I was like, wow, that feels interesting. You know, I'm quite sensitive to energy, so it was definitely interesting to actually be in it and experience it from this side and this sort of perspective, to go in with the Thai person and to do one of the rituals that's less about, you know, all of the sacrificial element or the exchange element that they're working with the physical body and the piercings and everything. It was really nice to be part of that. So I'm really grateful for the experience and to not have the filter of it being gross or weird. It might seem strange that it wasn't gross or weird with all of this going on, and a lot of the videos I've seen on YouTube or whatever have been really kind of exclusively focused on, whoa, this guy's got guns through his face or a bit of a lawnmower or something. But to me, it wasn't about that. I really saw the reason that they were doing this in exchange, you know, and it might seem archaic or brutal or ultra tribal or something, or outdated. I don't know what. I read a lot of comments and people were sort of really, really not understanding the exchange element. And my interpretation of it is that we create density, and sometimes that density that we've created spans a collective, and that becomes like a way of being and an agreed upon reality, and that sometimes it takes something really, I don't know, I guess violent, something really intense to happen to shift the status of that reality. Just like on a personal level, you know, you've probably had this, like when you're kind of going along in your life and you really want to make a change on something, but it's really hard to, and sometimes it's that breakdown, sometimes it's that glitch, or something happens with your body that actually causes you to ask the questions that are required, and there has to be some sort of exchange. What are you willing to give up so that you can have the space and the lightness of being? And that might seem totally like it doesn't go together, however there is a link between that. They're giving this in order to have that, and not just for themselves but for others. So it really is kind of like an act of giving and a vulnerability and a full trust. Like that's what really struck me about the piercing situation. It was how trusting and must you be as one of them to completely give yourself in that service. You know, these people don't even bleed sometimes after. Like you heard, the guy just chopped off his tongue. Like, are you kidding me? That to us is just impossible, right? But these people are proving the impossible true, and it's been going forever. You know, this is not something that's for the show of it all. Although I will say there were a couple people, my spidey sense was going, I don't know. I don't know how really in a state they are, but anyways, maybe I just don't know, or maybe there is a little bit of that going on, because even in spiritual practices I've seen there can be kind of ego going on. Who's the most spiritual? Who's the most in trance, you know? So anyways, I'm going to process this, just giving the little message of don't assume until you go in, until you have a look and you check with your own awareness system. Like, what else could be in here? What else could these cultures be providing us that could allow us to have a little more courage to have that level of vulnerability and surrender to a greater force?